A story is told of Ryan, a small boy from Canada. He was 5 years old when their house burned down. His father lost his job and his brother was sick. The mother had to combine both working and raising children in order to pay for the sick child's bill. Ryan saw other children buy ice cream and sweets, but he never did, since he never had any pocket money. He got egg-laying hens and started selling eggs, getting $15 for a dozen. "My boy, you are troubling yourself too much, you are still young," her mother used to tell him. "But Mum, I want to help you," he always said. With time, Ryan got tired of the small business and gained an interest in lawn mowing. He organized a lawn mowing company, and within a year, he managed a few $1,000s which he used to expand the business. By age 9, Ryan Ross had become one of the youngest millionaires in the history of Canada, which he is till today. You see, my friend, it's not about what you have, your background, or where you are at now. Rather, it's about what you are willing to do. You can start today with what you have, that's what will bring that success. Here are 7 simple habits of successful people. 1. Gratitude. We hear about gratitude all the time, but science backs it up. Those who express gratitude increase well-being, can focus more on what's working, and overcome challenges at a faster pace. By shifting from our problem-seeking monkey mind to what's working in our lives, we shift our emotions and set the tone for the day. Write 3 things you're grateful for in the morning and start your day empowered. 2. Airplane mode. How many of us, when we wake up, the first thing you reach out is your phone? In a world of endless distraction, protecting your attention has to be a priority. Instead of immediately grabbing the phone and starting the day off being reactive, choose to take control and start the day on your terms. To do so, start the day on airplane mode for at least 15 minutes and work your way up to 60 minutes or more. 3. Creative work. What is it you love doing? We all have one thing that makes us feel better when we do it. Creative work is an often ignored successful habit. Doing something creative every day flexes a much-needed muscle, which translates into other projects you're working on. Set aside at least 20 minutes every day to work on something creative. 4. Physical movement. Physical movement is vital for our health. It may be even more important for our mindset and neurochemistry. It enables us attain discipline and self-consciousness. It proves you love yourself. Start simple, time yourself doing one activity for at least 10 minutes. 5. Focus time. Who would you imagine to be more productive, someone who works 55 hours a week or someone who works 70? If you guessed the latter, you'd be incorrect. Do you know that productivity diminishes after 40 hours and falls off a cliff after 55? In essence, those extra 15 hours are a total waste of time. In other words, less is more. To make focus a habit, start with 25 minutes at least once a day and build your habit of focus time from there. 6. Me time and mindfulness. The habit of mindfulness through meditation is shown to increase well-being, boost creativity, and provide some much-needed perspective. This is the time you get new ideas and strategies on how to implement them. However, many people complicate this habit and think they are doing it wrong if they have a particularly tough meditation. Nothing could be further from the truth. Meditation is simply a practice. Spend at least 5 minutes being aware of your breath, in silence, or using a guided meditation. 7. Learn daily. Anyone can have above-average expertise in nearly any field through learning for at least 10 minutes a day. Sounds crazy, right? Learning is unending and should be a challenge always, wherever and whenever we are. It should never stop. Constant learning and education is a successful habit shared by many successful people. Set a marker for learning every day, whether 10 pages a day or a specific time you're blocking out. There are so many habits we can lay down, but I want you to know, success is more of a habit than a trait. Think of your habits as the autopilot mechanism on the cross-country flight. The pilots do the heavy lifting for takeoff and landing, and then step back and do maintenance during the flight. You can do the same for your life by making your success and growth a habit. Start small, keep it simple, and watch the magic happen. Thank you for staying tuned. See you in the next. Hit the subscribe button, like and comment down there. My stepmom always blamed me for bad luck in her life. My mom passed on when giving birth to me. Dad married my stepmom. With Dad around, things were okay. Until he was killed in the battlefield at work when I was only 5. Mom threw me out for her other son. She left me alone on the streets. I waited for until nightfall hoping she'd come. After all, it was my birthday. And I thought Mum was getting me a piano. I headed home thinking Mum was looking for me. But I saw her give the piano to my brother. Mom left me, and I knew it. After this incident, I left home and promised myself to be back once I figured out how to make Mum happy. I celebrated my birthday at the trash can. That's where the restaurant cleaner found me. Janelle wanted to call the police, but I crashed her phone intentionally. I didn't want them to take me away, and I'd make Mum unhappy again. Janelle took me to her home planning to hand me over to the police the following morning. She had a piano, and I got stuck there playing it all along. She changed her mind on seeing this. Nobody has ever played the piano since I buried my daughter. I stayed with her as her own son. Janelle hired me the best trainer. But one day the police came for me. One of our neighbors reported I was a stolen child. I was afraid Mum would come and scold me. The police told me she had abandoned me. If no one came for me, I would end up in the children's home. Janelle adopted me legally as her own. 12 years later, with my career so successful, I bumped into a beggar on a wheelchair and was shocked to see my mum. His son had abandoned her. She was lonely and unkept. I took her in. She only had major regrets for raising a selfish son and abandoning me. I gave her a second chance and helped set up a foundation to assist other abandoned kids with no luck as I was. Do not pay evil with evil, rather pay evil with good. Wondering why they keep ignoring you, they don't pay attention to your contribution, or maybe they keep brushing off whatever you suggest. Here are some 7 possible reasons. Number 1. You are constantly questioning your value. Are you always concluding that whatever you are about to say is not worth enough? You sometimes feel it will be out of context or will not make sense. Sometimes it's not as it seems, we exaggerate it in our minds. Fill your mind with positive affirmations and be confident of you. This could turn things around. Number 2. You are full of negativity. Could be you are one of those people who always have a dark cloud above them and always see the negative side in everything. Given that such sentiments can easily be transferred to the others, no wonder that people avoid you. You can turn this around by filling the inside of you with positivity. Then pass this energy to everyone. They will always be happy to hang out and listen from you. Number 3. Selfishness. When all is centered around you and does not have an interest of any other in mind, could be a big problem. Everybody attaches to love and concern, and that's why they keep off if it's only about you. Learn to put others ahead of you. This won't make you any less, rather it will add value to you. Number 4. You are never guilty. People cannot tolerate when you are always blaming them, even when it's you on the mistake. You never own up at any one particular time. You just need to accept your mistakes, cause no human is special. We all do mess sometimes. Number 5. You don't listen to others. This is pretty obvious. If you don't want to hear other people's opinion, why should they listen to you? Do not think of yourself any higher than others. Just fit in with them, and sure they will appreciate your input and value in their lives. Number 6. You might try too hard, and it comes off as needy. This is more so with the introverts as we try to be relevant in groups. Don't push it too hard. Just allow it to flow easily, and in case it doesn't happen, there's a next time. It's okay to be relevant, but don't rush it. Just be you and practice you. Number 7. Waiting for people to acknowledge you first. This mostly comes due to insecurity. Are you always waiting for others to be nice to you first? To approach you or acknowledge you? People may mistake this for being shy or not liking them, so they may keep off. Sometimes all you need to do is just greet them, or maybe ask a question simply, then, boom, you get in the conversation. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more of this. We will also appreciate your feedback in the comments section. Julian was a smart lady and always left a good name wherever she landed. Having grown up in a poor background, she was determined to do her best to see her life and that of her kins become better. This led her to seeking for better positions in her career after school, and that's how she landed at Walter Dishock Company. Lucky for her, they gave her a 1-month probation that would see her immediate promotion as an operations manager or her immediate dismissal. She gave her all. Unknown to her, there was more to it than just hard work. This morning, Her boss Mr. Wesley summoned her to his office and invited her for dinner that evening to discuss work matters and her progress thus far. Julian, excited, spent the whole day just thinking of a good report coming in the evening. That's the kind of day she would have said thank you for stepping her toes instead of being mad at you. Evening came and she dressed her best and arrived at the meet-up place an hour earlier. Mr. Wesley arrived soon after and to her shock, he was dressed casually and you could see his masculine body clearer than usual. She didn't give it much a thought until in their conversations, Mr. Wesley started touching her inappropriately and it dawned on her the boss was interested in sleeping with her for her job promotion. Being the intelligent lady she was, she quickly pushed him away, took her bags and left disappointed for home. The next morning as usual she came early to work, only to be issued a note at the reception, and as you may be thinking right now, it was a dismissal. She couldn't hold her tears as she was being let outside. She couldn't believe, after giving her best as she did, she was leaving her dream job. If it were not for her morning joggings and sports activities that she continued with, Julian would have easily slid to depression. Unknown to her, that this morning routines would bring her good tidings. One morning in her jogging sessions, she met Ribble Fluke who became her jogging buddy, and in one of their jogging moments together, Julian shared her story and the young man recommended a company who were looking for exact skills as hers. That's how she landed at Jimlo Consultancy as an operations officer. It didn't take her much time before she rose different positions and before long, she was the CEO of the company. That's about 6 years since her dismissal at Walter Dishock Company. Jimlo Consultancy had a policy that the last step of their company interviews the candidates would meet the CEO for a few practical sessions to determine the winner. That's what happened at a particular time when they needed senior consultants, and for this particular time, 3 candidates were meeting up with her as the CEO. In the interview room, the 3 candidates sat anxiously awaiting the CEO, and, on her entrance, while the other 2 were smiling, one of them almost sank deep under the chair to hide. Guess who he was? Mr. Wesley, her former boss, was among the 3 seeking for a senior position with Jimlo Consultants. Julian, our lady, just smiled at the sight of Mr. Wesley and requested for a moment with him after the interview. That's when Mr. Wesley tried to apologize, explaining that he changed and that he would be good at his new workplace. Unfortunate for him, he could not secure a position with the company since Julian found out he had initially been fired from 3 different companies in that short span of 6 years owing to his ill behavior, and there's no way they would take him in. That explains why in life, delay doesn't mean denial. Wherever you are and whatever you do, give it your best and seek to achieve success in the right way. That what you do will always follow you, whether good or evil. Keep at it and don't give up. Blessings. In a village far away, a young man once asked an elderly man where to start to be successful. The wise man patiently listened to the man's question and told him to meet him near the river the next morning for the answer. The next morning, as agreed, they met at the river bank. As they went in the river, the water got up to their neck. But to the young man's surprise, the elderly man ducked him into the river. The young man struggled to get out of the water, but the elderly man was strong and kept him there until the boy started turning blue. He then pulled the man's head out of the water. The young man gasps and took a deep breath of air. The elderly man asked, "What did you want the most when your head was in the water?" The young man replied, "Air." The elder said, "That is the secret to success. When you want success as badly as you wanted the air while you were in the water, then you will get it. There is no other secret. To you, my friend, a burning desire is the starting point of all accomplishment. Just like a small fire cannot give much heat, a weak desire cannot produce great result. Blessings."